Hello and welcome to another video from Paraplays VR, and today we're going to be looking at raw data. So before we get into the meat and bones of it, I'd just like to thank Jason over at Subaros Studios for giving me the opportunity to bring you this gameplay and get involved in the pre-alpha, as it's a game that I've been really looking forward to. So before we actually get the elevator down into the main area where all the fighting and the combat starts, we start in this tube, and I presume this is going to be where there's be a little bit of a briefing or a menu system, because at the minute this is all there is within this room. And as you may notice, we've got hands, and we've got quite a nice representation. Actually, it does actually feel quite good. These graphics, these hands do feel quite attached, and it's nice to have this arm aspect to it as well. As you can see, you can have a virtual scratch or do whatever you want with these hands. They do feel quite good. Now on my left arm here, you can see we have a scoreboard. It also gives us information on kills, the amount of data that we've actually got when we're down there, basically how long we've survived, I think that is, and the amount of time that we've actually taken down there without dying. And on my right arm we have this that looks like a bit of a Samsung watch, and what this is this gives us slow motion or bullet time, as it were. So if you wanted to get into those matrix aspects where the bullets come flying over you, well, now you can by activating that. And once you activate it with a button on the controller, it'll build back up. As you can see, we've got a virtual belt, and here we have our basic weapon, which is always attached and always available to us at any point. Now we use the grip control on the right hand controller, or the left one if you're left handed, and if you let go it will actually drop the weapon. But because there's a clever system in game, once you do it the second time you can let go of that grip mechanic and it will automatically stay in your hand, which saves you having to pick it up should you drop it. And if you want to drop it, you just click it again. So this is our basic firearm. It's a pistol, very nicely modelled. As you can see, we'll just have a quick look around here. Very nice, feels nice, big and chunky, and it looks like at the front here at some point we may have a laser. Now whether that's an upgrade later or an unlock as we get to a certain score, you can activate that, who knows. Now a nice little touch is you can actually see the rounds going down in the clip, and as we get to the end of this it will auto eject it. And we have two options now to reload this pistol. With our left hand we can grab the clips here and bring it up to the pistol and it will automatically reload it. That's one way of doing it, which is quite a nice feature. So if I just get rid of these now, or we can put the pistol behind our back and it will auto reload. Now regarding the actual pistol accuracy, you can actually aim down the sight. It is a little bit blurry on the end of it, and that's one aspect I do hope they improve slightly. Just a little bit more AA or a little bit more resolution would make using the iron sights on some of these weapons a whole lot easier. Now, wrong shoulder. Over this shoulder we've got a katana. As you can see, nicely modelled again. It's got a bit of a Star Wars feel to it, I don't know why, and the reason I say that is it actually says on the console downstairs, do not call it a lightsaber. So they've got a bit of humour, these guys. So if you wanted to do your inner samurai or your inner Jedi, now you've got the opportunity. You can also grab the weapon with two hands. As you can see, it fizzles, and I think this gives it more of a ability to actually send rounds back. We are in very early pre-alpha here, so a lot of things are going to change, and as we get further down you'll notice not everything is actually working, such as in the manual I was given it said there was a grenade on your back and I cannot find it, so that's probably an aspect that will be coming that's not quite in the game. Now over there is the elevator to pull it down, but unfortunately the room hasn't scaled to my standing room. I'm only in a standing room at the minute and I can't reach it. So I'm going to bring up a console command that the admins or the developers gave me in order to get the elevator to go down.
You're in. I don't believe it. Activating now.
Hello, my name is Simon. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce you to your exciting new investment at Eden Corp.
Now the first thing I noticed when I came down here was the music. Just have a listen.
Minds. A corporate
It sounds just like Terminator music. So here we are down at the bottom where all the combat and the fighting is about to begin. And we have these consoles all around us, 360 all the way around us, and as I say, a lot of these things, a lot of these screens are not going to be fully implemented or working just yet. We are in pre-alpha stage. And from looking around at the environment, it's something I noticed before, it feels like it does need a little bit more anti-aliasing, or the resolution could do with going up a little bit higher. There may be options for that because there is no main menu. The areas behind there will actually open up at some point as we start fighting, but it's just little things like around the barriers and around the edges of certain things. It is shimmering quite a bit, and if that's something they can sort out, which they kind of did in Space Pirate Trainer, there is actually an option to put it into high quality mode, because the environments are really quite close. Things like those barriers and things like that will stop shimmering and stop a little bit less jaggies, if that makes sense. I think you guys know what I mean in virtual reality, that some of the textures are shimmering a little bit. So this is our play area, our play space, and these consoles, once we've actually started and activated, they will go down, and occasionally walls come up or barriers come up that we can use to hide behind and protect ourselves. And the weapons will start to upgrade as we get further in and we get to different levels. So this is the first gizmo. Let's have a little close up look at this. And this is what we're going to place into the console to retrieve the data. So let's put that in there. And that will start downloading megabytes of data, which means that these security bots are then going to start coming out and trying to kick our ass. And you can see the data going down there. And on my arm, we can see the time and the amount of data that we've got. So this is phase 1. We'll take this nice and easy, and we'll use the pistol and see if we can actually get some nice headshots. So let's pop some caps, nice and easy for phase 1.
You will be activated.
Damn, hold on.
It is actually possible to get headshots if you take your time with this, as you can see. And let's put this into bullet time. I'm going to press the button on the controller in a second, and you'll see we'll go into slow-mo mode, which later on, when you've got all sorts of things coming at you, actually goes into a sort of Matrix vibe. And as you can see, I'm leaning there so you can try and get some of the fire. And the timer goes down on the watch on the right, and that will tell me when it started to rebuild back up. And you can use that at any time. If you've only got a small amount you've built up, you can use that at any time you want. So quite a tactical advantage to use it, and I can imagine later on, as you're about to see later in the video, it really does become in quite handy. So this panel here at the minute in the alpha is not actually quite working, but this one over here, if I press one of these, I've actually unlocked some SMG bots. Now these two over here, they're on our side, and as you can see there are other things on here as well. These barriers are not actually working, and that's us on that control panel. But what we can do is we can click one of these and bring in a laser, and there we go, there's a laser, and that's basically, think of this as like a defense tower. It's going to help us.
Damn, hold on. Getting you some cover.
Time to move.
Great, they have guns.
Position. Taking a new position.
Now at this particular point we have two walls that popped up. These really do help. I'm wondering whether there's is actually an option on that control panel to decide where these are going to go. And really at this point you can deflect the weapons and the fire back at them, but really it would be more handy for one of you, because there is co-op eventually coming in this game, to have your pistol. So one you've got an offensive and one more of a defensive. Obviously the Katana is better at close quarters. Getting into some slow-mo there. Quite difficult to show you without looking down the sight. One thing I have noticed as well is that even though we've got friendly bots in here, which are green, when the actions are actually going on or they get into the dark areas, it's really quite difficult to tell friend from foe. So I am wondering whether this will be something that gets changed in the alpha. And these guys are getting closer, so I've got to be careful now.
Dodge the laser! Don't shoot your own helpers!
You will be activated.
Nice shot!
A new position.
I'm picking something up on my scan. Do you see anything?
I'm moving.
Look out!
Time to move.
Looks like I can give you a few seconds by forcing a reboot.
Changing position.
I'm awfully sorry about this.
Moving
This
to
is
a
not
new
the kind of
position.
reception I'd...
So as we come to the end of that round, let's have a look at the bow, the compound bow. Now, according to the manuals given by the devs, there is actually an ability to use exploding arrows with this by putting your arm over your shoulder. I couldn't get this to work. Again, this may be because this is closed pre-alpha. This isn't available. Again, you can drop it. When you pick it up again, it'll stay in your hand. And this is really quite effective at the enemies that are flying, I've noticed when I've tried this before. But regarding to trying to hit the actual robots that are coming at you, I found this really, really difficult. It may be just a matter of practice. It's almost like the weapon needs, as in a real crossbow, the two lines or the two aiming sights that come off from the front of the bow in order for you to be able to aim it. Because you can't physically get the controllers or the arrow right down your sight line in order to be able to see where you're firing, so it is a little bit a matter of guesswork. So the ability to put your hand over your shoulder and do the fire arrows is not really possible, but I do like firing it a little bit like a crossbow as we get a little bit further up. So what we'll do is we'll see how long we can survive with the actual crossbow, and then we'll go on and have a look at the 203 grenade launcher with the shotgun. So let's have a go at this bow and see if this is usable whatsoever, or whether it's me just being a complete and utter noob.
Flying drone!
In your position.
Shit!
Time to move.
That's right, best.
I'm moving.
As you can see, I did quite well there with the ones that were in the air. And those flying drones, it really is better to put it into slow motion. You've just got time to use the bow properly. As I said, once we've actually got the ability to use exploding arrows, it may make it that you don't actually have to hit the robot. You could hit very close to them on the ground or something like that. That would make the bow, for me, a whole lot more of a powerful weapon. But again, this is pre-alpha, so a lot of this may and probably will change. Also having the ability to quickly be able to throw a grenade out again would be brilliant. So you can see I'm actually trying to use the cover here a little bit. See if I can get it in slow-mo and take out these guys before they take me out.
See marker weapon disappear. Remain where you are. We are coming there.
Stay alive!
We will get you. You will be activated. Remain where you are. We are coming for you.
侵入者あり工場のシャットダウン中です Intruder detected Factory
I don't know if there's an actual health bar. I think it is just a physical on-screen indicator that the screen will start to go red, it will start to shake and things like that. That's the only way I can think really that is the ability to know when you're losing health.
I'm moving. Moving to your position. Time to move. Taking your position. Changing position.
No! You can't do this!
Well, that sucked, and I can imagine there's many people out there going, what a noob, what a noob. But until you actually get in and try it, you'll realise actually how hard it can actually be, and that's me down there on the floor. So when you actually do die, this is what happens. You don't go back to the beginning again, you can actually replay the same level. As you can see, there's a score up there, total kills, headshots, accuracy deaths, the amount of data, and the amount of time that I've actually been playing this level. So what we'll do now is, we'll have a look at the shotgun. Have a look at another weapon here. So again, we can grab that. There's no time limit between the actual rounds, I just need to plunge that down. So this is the shotty. As you can see, it's quite nicely modelled. Quite large in your hands actually. The video doesn't really give you that sense of scale that the actual VR does. And yeah, quite a nice looking thing. The only thing that's missing in VR is the weight. Maybe I should stick a dumbbell in my hand at the same time. So with this one, we use the other controller to grab, and we actually have to pump the round back in after we've fired it. So quite a nice mechanic. And regarding aiming, I know it's a shotty, but you can actually at certain points get the angle just right, and you can actually aim down the iron sights if you wanted to, which does help with the flying drones. I find this is the best thing for the flying drones, and of course this is at close quarters. And we also have a 203 grenade launcher. It looks like a mortar that comes out that seems to randomly bounce around. I don't know whether these are on a timer, but that's the way we do it. Grab, and you can also, of course, this is a much easier way of doing it, but it means a lot more time in between each round as you've got to bring it back, physically drop it, and then aim again. So let's bring up another one of those, and let's bring up some shotgun bots and see how we get on with the shotgun. Now these guys really, I mean, he looks at least 6 foot stood in front of me. The video's not going to do them justice. And as I've mentioned before, it would be nice to be able to distinguish them in the dark. It's very hard to tell. Whether that's intentional, it may be an intentional aspect of this game, but it's hard to tell your friendly bots from the enemy bots. So let's have a go with this 203 launcher. I'm going to be using time freeze matrix mode when the flying robots come out, because it's just the best way of actually dealing with them. And also these grenades, if you can shoot them before they get too close to you, you can go slow time, and it looks bloody amazing.
Nice work. We're getting a ton of data. Once this gets out,
Not quite sure what happened there. I don't know why that round ended so quickly. Again, it's pre-alpha, guys, so everything in this game, we shouldn't be judging them too much. I'm sure everything will change as we're not even in beta yet. So let's have another go with this. I shall skip the video on a little bit, and we shall get back in and have some shotty goodness.
侵入者あり工場の着弾が完了します Factory operation successfully aborted.
my God, they have blades.
I'm moving.
Security 違反
In position.
を公開します
Changing target kill.
Watch out for flying robots. Amazing.
Changing position. Drill activated. Taking a new position.
Now I think once you've actually got your room scale, you'd be able to run and stand against these pillars that have come up and give you a little protection from that side, you know, aim around the corner, lean back, get down. But obviously with me at the minute having just standing scale, I'm kind of like stuck in the middle really. So I think that really will improve the gameplay, and when they start to introduce, because this is multiplayer co-op, when there's two of you stood next to each other, I did notice there was a menu in the console commands for friendly fire on and off, so we know that's going to be coming. That will be brilliant. Bumping into each other or firing into each other is going to add a whole new aspect to the game. Maybe one of you will do close quarters with the shotties, the other one may have the pistols or the rifles. As you can see on here, it looks like there is a minigun, there is a chain gun, there is looks like a semi-automatic rifle as well, so there's a shield at the bottom. So there is other stuff coming, and should I get another update to the next build of this and these new weapons are introduced, I will be doing another video on those aspects. So if you want to see more, subscribe and help me out. I have a new channel, and subscribers make prizes. No, they don't. I don't know what I was saying. I was thinking of Bruce Forsyth. Anyway, so let's, before we sit and give it my summary of what I actually think about the game, I'm going to try with the actual swords or the katanas. Is it possible to actually survive in this game with a samurai mode on? I'm a big Kurosawa fan, so now we're about to find out.
Into new position.
Hang tight.
Target disabled. Time to move.
That has some major stopping power.
Changing position neutralized. Moving to a new position. Taking a new position.
致命的なデータの違いを検知されました。施設の
I'm moving. Target disabled. Moving through.
Really, it is doable as a defensive weapon, but I think you do need a pistol. You need some offensive capabilities when you're using the sword. So let's get it into slow-mo and see if we can take these guys out.
Target killed.
So at this point, guys, I'm going to give you my little summary of what I actually think about the game. I actually think this has got a huge potential. everybody loves a horde mode, and the fact that they're going to be adding co-op to this, the first really half-decent multiplayer game for virtual reality, is going to be absolutely amazing. And I hope they can put in scoreboards, global and regional, things like that. Give you a little bit of a competition when you're actually in there. Maybe possibly new environments. I can't wait to get my hands on these miniguns and the chain gun and the other things that are in here. And also the ability to build defences and barriers is going to be brilliant. Weapons are quite nice and beefy. I do wish that the sound had a little bit more beef to it, if that makes sense. Especially the turrets, you know, like a really sort of aggressive, I'm trying to think, aggressive, violent sound to it. It just feels like it's lacking a little bit in that bottom end, that aggressiveness. Immersion wise, really good, really good. I think, again, once you've got that vision of the second player next to you, it's going to be fantastic. I really cannot wait for that. Graphics again, really nice, very quite stylized for what they are. It's not hyper realistic. It has got quite difficult to say, a little bit of a Star Wars. It just feels like a little bit like the Star Wars universe. And I don't say that purely for the katana or the lightsaber. It has got a certain feel to it. I do wish there was more anti-aliasing, as I mentioned at the beginning, and maybe it's slightly higher res. It looks like Space Pirate does. Space Pirate Trainer, when you first put that on. And in Space Pirate Trainer, when you click the high quality button, it's like, wow, now it looks, everything's crisp and sharp and everything like that. So I hope the devs can put that into the game as well. Gameplay, well, it's enjoyable, as you can tell from the video. I'm really quite enjoying this game so far. Pre-alpha, again, if they start adding these new weapons, the chain gun and things like that, believe me, I will be the first person to be jumping in and trying it. I cannot wait for that. Hopefully you'll be able to do the old Arnie, step round, brrr, just mow them down. Hopefully the bullet casings will go flying all over. The more visceral, more exciting, the more stuff on screen and action they can make this game, the more it's just going to blow every other sort of horde mode, fighting against enemies games that's out there. So overall, very, very effective, very, very enjoyable, and I certainly cannot wait for more. And again, I'd like to thank the devs for giving me the opportunity to do this, and hopefully they'll invite me to more features and more videos that I can upload for other features that are coming. I've been Paraplayers. It's a new channel, so if you do want to see more and you want to help me out, please subscribe and thumbs up, or give me your feedback on how I can improve the videos. I know some people like to have the webcam on, but at the minute, as I'm doing my house up and I haven't sorted out my VR room, as I'm waiting for the wonderful world of skirting boards and architriving and carpets all to come yet, so I'm stuck in the tiny little box room and I'm only doing standing scale. But anyway, I've enjoyed this game and I hope you have as well. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you in some more Paraplayers VR videos coming real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.